So Elon, thank you for coming down at such short notice. Can you tell us what drove your purchase of Twitter?
Well, I think it's very important for there to be an inclusive arena for free speech where all, yeah.
Completely agree. So Elon, level with us. What's first on the agenda, day one?
Open source the algorithm. So there's no sort of behind the scenes.
Yeah, let me stop you there, buddy. 2 words. Congressional oversight. Thank you. The committee recognizes Barack Obama, who has some comments on content moderation.
While content moderation can limit the distribution of clearly dangerous content,
Why is he in an Air Force uniform?
it doesn't go far enough. These big platforms need to be subject to some level of public oversight and regulation.
Thank you, Mr. Obama. Now I believe we have our Minister of Truth, Nina Jankowicz, who wants to dial in on Zoom. Is that right? What are you doing?
Sources of information.
What?
Democracy
Turn-
isn't
turn that off.
possible
That is not a
without
live feed.
authoritative
Turn that off.
sources of information.
Turn that off.
Democracy
Turn that
isn't
off.
possible without authoritative sources of information. Democracy isn't possible without authoritative sources of information.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. Here we are at the end of Monday, and it has been an absolutely insane day. No, I'm not going to run an ad for my brand new coffee company, Coffee Brand Coffee. You've already heard enough about it. Lots of people are ordering. I'm very, very thankful for the early support. I'll leave the link as usual, but this particular topic is really interesting as, you know, the desperation among really, quite frankly, only one side of the political aisle over Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter has been really telling, don't you think? You know, it's been really, really interesting to see why people are so, freaked out about it. Why is Congress, Senate getting involved? Well, it's because, in my opinion, Twitter has been for years used to, as a mouthpiece. Elon Musk plans to buy Twitter. Senate Democrats have some questions. Commerce Chair mulling hearings on Musk's plans for the company. Lawmakers cite social platforms' role in public debate. Wow. Wow, interesting that they suddenly care about this, isn't it? Really interesting that they suddenly care about it. That suddenly, that the public space or whatever you might call it, suddenly it matters? I don't understand. I mean, what do they mean? I thought none of this mattered. I thought it was a private company and they could do what they want. Lawmakers cite social platforms' part in public discourse. Some key Senate Democrats are considering calling Elon Musk to testify on his plans to remake Twitter amid broader calls in Congress for new regulations for tech and social media companies. I mean, it's right there, friends. It's happening right in front of us. If something happened in front of you, would you instinctively know to keep it in frame? It's happening right in front of our faces. Why are the Democrats all of a sudden worried? Maybe it's because they know, and they've known for years, that as long as they just kind of don't pick at that scab that is Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and also YouTube, really, that they'll continue to benefit from its many partisan shenanigans, in my opinion. Things like shadow banning going one way. I just passed 200,000 followers on Twitter. I never ever thought that would be possible. Suddenly, in the last week, 2 weeks, people are seeing my tweets. What a coincidence. Some key Senate Democrats are considering calling Elon Musk to testify on his plans to remake Twitter amid broader calls in Congress for new regulations. There are no imminent plans for hearing, but we're thinking about it. Senate Commerce Chair Maria Cantwell said in an interview Thursday. The Washington State Democrat noted that the committee has previously had hearings with former Twitter Inc. Chief Executive Jack Dorsey, Meta Platform Inc. CEO Mark Zuckerberg, and Alphabet Inc. CEO Sundar Pichai. They were questioned about decades-old legal shield that protects social media companies from liability for users-generated content on their site, commonly referred to as Section 230. And if you remember, like I know you do, those hearings were an absolute joke. There was no feet to the fire in that. It was all, Teddy Cruz got a couple of his zingers in there. A few people got, some viral clips, but nothing changed. Now suddenly they're sharpening their knives and like, yeah, Elon's buying it. We've gotta do it. The Tesla CEO earlier this week agreed to buy Twitter. We know Musk didn't respond to a request for comment on his willingness to testify, and also Twitter declined to comment. Senator Ed Markey, a member of Commerce Committee who has called for new laws regulating large tech companies, said a hearing with Musk was necessary given Twitter's importance. I wonder why the Democrats are so aware of that. It's a technology which is central to our democracy and our economy, and it's important for the representatives of the American people to hear what the new owners intend on using that technology to accomplish. Really? Boy, these people really are afraid of free speech, aren't they? You know, the thing they're sworn to uphold in our Constitution? They really are afraid of it. And that should, make you afraid, because it's absolutely insane to me that this continues to be like any kind of like, where are people with like digital pitchforks saying like, wait a minute now, wait a minute. Why is suddenly everything this such an issue? Why? We have to understand the censorship or lack thereof, content moderation or not, that is going to be the policy for the new owner. Well, first of all, I don't think that Elon Musk is entitled, I don't think that he has to say any of that. I don't think he has to give any of that information to them. And second of all, he doesn't even own it. So he doesn't even own it yet. We're talking 6 months of this. Strap in, boys and girls. We're going to be talking about Elon Musk and Twitter a lot. Until that Captain Marvel movie finally comes out, which got pushed back again. I'm sure has nothing to do with massive reshoots. But anyway, in terms of what the values are and what the company is going to be creating for the new Elon Musk Twitter world, I think that's actually a necessary role for Congress to play. Yeah, don't worry about, stemming immigration. Don't worry about inflation being completely out of hand. And you see how Congress can prevent Elon from turning Twitter back into an unfettered disinformation machine. When was this period, by the way? When was this? Like, when was this unfettered, access, unfettered information on Twitter? Like the day it was created? I don't think that there's really this period never existed. Over the weekend, a story came out of Brussels that many may have missed. The 27-member state of the European Union reached an agreement on a new law requiring big online platforms, including social media companies, to police hate speech and disinformation more effectively under the EU's Digital Services Act. European governments, by the way, this is what Democrats want in the United States. This is what they're talking about when they say, let's look to what they're doing in Europe. Under the EU's Digital Services Act, European governments now have the power to ask web platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube to remove any content that reports, like Terry stuff, fine. Hate speech, not a real thing. The other commercial scams, I'm actually fine with that too. Or, the kid stuff too. That can all get removed. That's fine. But hate speech is not a real thing. The platforms will also be obliged to prevent the, quote, manipulation of the services having an impact on the democratic process and public security. So what this is like a crazy overreach by the government. Like, these are the same people that want to do a link tax too. You know what I mean? Like, these are the same people that want to charge you to link back to websites, or they want to try to make money off that. These are the same people that want to tax that kind of stuff. In a statement on Monday, Musk said that he wanted to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating spam bots, and authenticating all humans. These aren't necessarily a bad idea. Allowing users to edit tweets and authenticating their identities could conceivably improve Twitter. The idea of opening up Twitter's algorithm also sounds benign, although it could clash with the goal of defeating the bots. Because once spammers know Twitter's formula for serving up tweets, it may be easier to game it. Maybe. But are we really going to get Congress involved? And then look at Bezos's little attack dog, the Washington Post. The flawed math behind Elon Musk's Twitter deal. I love all these clowns, in particular journos, that are coming out and like acting like Elon is not a super genius. Like, Elon Musk will go down as one of the top 0.00001% of humans to ever exist. The way his mind works, the things that he's accomplished. We're witnessing that in real time. And I'm supposed to read an article on the Jeff Bezos owned Washington Post that Elon's math was wrong. Do you think even for a second that he cares about the money? Because, my friend, he does not. He does not care about the money. Exclusive, Musk seeks to put in less money in new Twitter deal financing sources. Oh no, Reuters. Oh no, I better see if there's a previously archived version of this. Oh, look at that. Elon is in talks with large investment firms and high net worth individuals about taking on more financing for his $44 billion acquisition of Twitter and tying up less of his wealth in the deal. People familiar with the matter said. The banks had all agreed to last month's provide $13 billion in loans secured against Twitter, balked at providing more debt for Musk's acquisition, given the San Francisco-based company's limited cash flow. Reuters reported last month Musk committed to providing $21 billion. Now, he could use the new financing to reduce his contribution to the equity check for the deal, the sources say. Major investors such as private equity firms, hedge funds, and high net worth individuals are in talks with Musk about providing preferred equity financing for the acquisition. And the sources say preferred equity would pay a fixed dividend from Twitter in the same way that a bond or a loan pays regular interest, but would appreciate in line with the equity value of the company. So this is very interesting. Very interesting new wrinkle to the deal. I 100% support it. I'm just happy that it's private, and as long as Elon's vision remains intact, I'd want to know whose money it is. But they're getting desperate if they're like, hopefully Congress can protect us from the spaceman, just like they did the Orange Man. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.